Hi, everyone. Oh, hello, good evening. Can you hear me? Oh. Can everybody hear me? Sorry, I'm a bit on the hop this evening. I just sort of looked at my setup and thought, I don't like that. I just had to change things very quickly. Got a few of you in. Hi, Mrs. Miggins. Hi, Sharon. And Christine, hello. And I think I've got Catherine coming in from Facebook too. Do let me know if you can hear me. Sharon, thank you. I do apologise if you can hear some haggling in the kitchen. Catherine joins us from Facebook. She looks like she's still working on the SS Battle. Correct me if I am wrong there, Catherine, won't she? Hi, Red Frost Stitcher. Oh, long time no see. And hi, Sandy. And hi, Rosemary. How are we all doing this evening? Hope we're doing well. As you can see, I've got my princess out and we've moved over to the left. So we are over 75%. I will show you a picture in a second, if you haven't seen it on my Instagram, of the right hand side, because now it's hidden under folds of fabric. So let's see who else we got here. Sandy and Rosemary. I don't know if I've said hello to you ladies already. And Mal, hello. Mrs. Miggins. Oh, you're talking about the Essex retreat. Coralie, hello. Red Floss. Which Hay are you working on? I've not seen much on your channel lately. I'm kind of missing your videos, although it could be me. I could just have been missing them. So, oh, thank you, Hannah. Just had a cup of tea arrive for me, just in the nick of time.
If Andy tries to tell you that he made it, he's lying to her.
All right, okay. Arguing about who's making the tea. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Yeah.
Think it matters who made the tea.
No, it doesn't matter who makes the tea as long as I get the tea. Right, let me see if I can get into my Instagram on here and show you this picture. Instagram.
Right.
Go.
You heard the woman go.
Can't, I got Chris.
Nope, that's my YouTube channel. Why are you not showing me Instagram? Oh, do you know?
Because modern technology hates you.
Yes, Sandy, modern technology clearly does hate me.
It's right, Nicky hates me too, so.
I've got an Instagram tab up. Right. Red Frost. Oh, working on White Buffalo Woman. Ah. Yes, I remember seeing you on that a while back. Let's have a look. Not now. Right. Okay. Right. I've got it. There we go. So I hope you can see that. But there is the bird, or the top section of the bird. Okay. My Princess is on 25 count, 1/1 full cross. At the moment, that's the smallest count I'm working on. Stop doing videos, but more active on your Spanish channel. I'll have to go and have a look. Am I right in thinking, Red Floss Stitcher, that you're in Las Vegas? Is my memory correct?
Being watched by
David, I think your name is as well. I think. Although I could be wrong. It's happened before. Oh, you can just see the bird. Look, you can see the stitched back of the bird. Yep, my memory's right. Super. Anyway, you're very welcome. So, what's everybody else in here stitching on? So we already know from David he's doing White Buffalo Woman.
Ooh, David.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah, Red Frost Stitcher is in Las Vegas.
Wow. I think is that the first time we've had a man in the chat?
It might be. We'll say it, male stitcher.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a little bit disappointed this week. I'm expecting another model stitch, but it's not arrived. Chased it up on Friday, and she said she sent it first class, recorded delivery, so it should have been here on Wednesday.
And it's
still here. Yeah.
You don't know where it is.
That's Royal Mail for you.
Definitely is Royal Mail for you, Hannah. You're not wrong.
No flies on you, kid.
Part-time postman. Sharon's doing hot air balloon. Cheryl, you're doing some diamond painting. Sandy Gate Daydream, 18.81. So that's going up about what, 3 or 4% a week, something like that, Sandy, which is good. Just move that one over there. Oh dear. Coralie, do you take your hoop out after you finish stitching for the day, and do the marks come out when you wash the piece and you're working on Maverick by Thread Geeks? I have a very nasty habit of not taking my work off the hoop. I do if I know I'm not going to be stitching on it for a while, but I tend to sort of leave them on. It's a bit naughty, but as this one I'm trying to work on every day at the moment, it's not really worth taking it off the hoop. But I will take this for this week's floss tube. I'll be taking this one off the hoop, so it does get some time off. But generally speaking, let me just move the camera up because it doesn't like it again. But generally speaking, I just tend to leave my stitching in. Sunny Days, working on Tea Time in the Garden by Landmark Designs and Charts, 82.04%. Not far from a finish.
That's how big it is.
Valentina, hi there again. How are you? Lovely for you to join us again from Italy.
Trento, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. Sandy, not too bad, confetti heavy. Oh dear. Amal, you're like me, never take your work off the hoop. I try to if it's a wooden hoop, you know, when they have these brass fittings, but with the plastic ones, because the brass fitting's not touching the thread, I'm more likely to take off a wooden hoop than I am a plastic hoop, because the plastic hoop, the fittings on it don't touch the thread or fabric, and I tend to just leave them. But I do find that, you know, the hoop marks and that do come out in the wash and a press when still slightly damp. So
Oh, already done.
So, has everybody had a good week? I've been in the office a couple of days this week, as usual, but I'm going to work from home all next week. Got some overtime coming in next week. It's quite busy at work at the minute, so I said to the boss, I think I'd rather work from home because the 3 hours that I'd spend traveling, I can spend, some of that time on overtime. And she's like, yeah, that's a good idea. But since I'm on a work from home contract anyway, it kind of doesn't matter one way or the other.
It also means you'll be able to squeeze in a bit more stitching, no doubt.
Definitely squeeze in more stitching, yes. Get more done on my dinner hour for certain.
Yeah.
And I get about between 75 and 100 stitches done when I'm in the office on my dinner hour. If I were at home, I could get 150 plus.
You've got your camera quite high up there, Nikki. Is there a reason for that?
Yes, because it keeps blurring if I get too close. So the wood ones, I wrap them in bias tape. Yeah, I haven't got any bias tape, so like I said though, I don't necessarily take them off all the time, but I'm more likely to with the wood. It's cold in Italy at the minute. Oh dear.
It's cold here and all.
It's not so bad at the minute, Hannah. I'm warm.
Yes, but this is Hannah who always feels the cold.
Oh yeah. Does anybody else have one of those people in their house who says that no matter how warm it is, they always say that it's cold?
In this house, it is definitely her.
They've got men.
Started a vacation yesterday, 10 days off. Oh, lovely. So what is that, 10 days of stitching? Do you have anything planned, anything special, any travelling or anything like that? And Valentina this evening going to work on Little Tiny Chocolate Frog by Luna Fox.
Chocolate frog. Brilliant.
Is that a Harry Potter themed chart by any chance?
Say, it sounds it.
Or is it chocolate just because of the colours in the pattern? We have a big Harry Potter fan in this house.
Yes, her name is Lauren.
Currently having a swim in the bath. You done any more diamond painting this week, Hannah?
No, I think I did a bit smaller when I was doing out.
No diamond painting update from Hannah this week then.
I think people want to see you finish it, Hannah.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna
beautiful.
get round to it.
She'll get round to it, I'm sure.
Too busy watching telly.
I've got 2 more to do after that now.
Staycation. I'm thinking of working on red and black sampler, Owl Forest. Are you still working on some long dogs, David? I still haven't finished Pandemic yet. I'm really naughty. I nearly need to get that out and finish it because it's only about 3 or 4 pages from done. That's on 28 count. It's the only piece I've got on 28 count. It is a Harry Potter chocolate frog. We were right. So we've had a relaxing Sunday here. My stepdad has been for his lunch. And I've been sitting all afternoon and stitching. And what have you been up to, Andy? Just editing and research?
I have been finishing Shaftesbury, which I did this morning. And then I have been tidying up a few loose ends on the laptop. And now I'm putting together some bits and bobs for a future run up to Harrogate.
Somebody's got a big birthday coming up soon.
I have no idea who that could be.
Death by cross stitch is also halfway done. I haven't done Death by cross stitch. I've only got Pandemic, but I've seen a few people doing other long dogs. But I really want to finish Pandemic before I think about another.
Why does Harrogate have such long ward names?
Don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Just mark. Oh, I forgot to mark off how many stitches I've done. I think I've done about 1100 today. But we'll start with 1100.
Sounds good to me, Mrs. Blah, 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 blah.
We've got this week. We've got 2 Stitch with Me's, a chatty one for on Wednesday, and that will have Realm of Middle Earth. I'll be working on Envy this week, and then on Friday for an ASMR style, we will have She Sleeps out, and I'm hoping to join up the bottom. So that'd be good if I can get She Sleeps joined up. Then, you know, it's kind of progress, isn't it, when all the outside edge is done? Still no new starts, Andy. I'm being good. Keep trying to persuade me though, don't you?
It's time yet.
I'm just looking forward to next year getting all these Gecko Rouge kits underway. I think I'll have like a pick me wheel and start like, I don't know whether to do it in the first sort of, 10 or 12 weeks of the year, however many new starts I've got, do one a week or one a month. What do you think? One a week and get them all out and into the rotation quicker?
One a week sounds a bit excessive.
Or one a month and you'll be waiting, could be waiting 10 or 11 months for your favourite to come out. One a week is not excessive when you've got everything you need.
Yeah, no, but one a month is a bit more.
Or even one a fortnight. I mean, I don't mind. But what does everybody think? Well, Mal says she'd be on one a week team.
Put it to the vote, Nikki.
That's what I'm doing.
No, I mean,
I'll do an actual poll.
Make a poll, yeah.
Yeah, I might do that.
3 options: week, fortnight, and month.
I wasn't too excited about She Sleeps when you first started her, but she's definitely growing on me. Yeah, she is me too. I had some real difficulty when I first started on She Sleeps. It just seemed a bit, I was a bit meh about her. But then as I've sort of worked on it, it's grown on me quite a lot. And it's the only piece I've got on 20 count as well at the moment. I'm very much looking forward to seeing me close the circle. Yes, me too. I'm sort of tempted that even if it goes over my sort of standard 1,000 stitches, to actually just close that circle next time I pick up, well, when I pick her up tomorrow for the Stitch with Me. Sharon's on the one a week team, so that's 2 for one a week. You could be outvoted here, Andy.
I don't have a say in this kind of stuff, though, do I? It's all down to you and the people who stitch. I don't stitch, so I'm allowed an opinion, but nothing much more than that.
I was working on Night Cafe this week, and according to Stitch Pal, if I carry on at the rate I'm stitching it, it won't be done until 2060. I'll be 85.
Which one was that?
Night Cafe.
Well, it is a big piece. To
Yeah,
be fair.
a million stitches, nearly.
You know, I don't expect you to be finishing it like tomorrow.
Another vote for one a week.
I'm thinking one a week is probably the way to go here.
Hi, Elaine. You made it.
So glad you made it.
This way I don't have 3 minutes any more than that. I'm going to have to start putting them in my will. Yeah. Well, I mean, I plan to have this kind of, well, start a palooza really next year. But then I'm going to probably have a couple of years that I don't start anything and do like what I've done this year and work on a piece that's closest to the finish all the time. So...
Kirby would never be.
I've been holding on to start on Happy Village. Is that the one that Needle Kim is doing? But she's doing the crop version. Is it the one where it's like a night sky and some really colourful houses and beautiful trees in the background? Because that's a really pretty one. If it's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's a really nice piece. And Stitchy Witch, yes. Yeah, she's had a new start, hasn't she? But you know, sometimes you see a piece and you love it and you're like, yeah, I got to do that one. When they they don't just speak to you, they kind of sing at you in a very loud operatic voice saying, start me and start me right now. They do, honestly. Andy's laughing his head off. You know, so yeah, you've got to, you know, just go with it. I mean, we're here for a good time, not for a long time. And if stitching makes you happy, do that new start.
I don't know what you'd do without stitching.
Oh, I don't know what I'd do without stitching either. I'd probably be in a corner rocking somewhere. Stitching keeps me sane, for sure. My stitching time is my time. Oh, it's a time where I can not worry about anything. Okay. Mal, excited to do my first Sal. It's by Climbing Goat of James Webb Space Telescope Images. Oh, sounds interesting. When does that Sal start? Or has it already started? I'm assuming you do know what Sal means.
Of course I know what Sal means.
Just checking, making sure you're up to date on your stitchy terminology, dear.
Sal is a stitch.
Along. Last month. Well, bit behind, no matter, you can soon catch up. Waiting for fabric. Supply chain good over in the USA for fabric and thread. reason I ask is because a lady in Canada asked me about, you know, what, I think it was Kelly, who said, you know, what should I kind of, you know, stockpile in the event that, you know, obviously with COVID, lots of things got very limited, didn't they? And I suggested sort of always have a bit extra fabric in of the counts that you work on, keeping a stock of the most popular colours, and just, you know, try not to pick anything to start with fancy floss. Because during the pandemic, I needed some.
Is it 310 black? You want?
No. Some water lilies threads. And I kid you not, it took me over a year to get some Karen water lilies because of supply chain problems from the pandemic.
Well, I mean, at that time, there was.
Well, it stands to reason, Andy, because there were half the people in the factories doing half the manufacturing. So only half the orders were shipped and half the arrived. So, you know, only half the customers were satisfied at the other end.
But then again, what did the customers expect when you think about it?
Well, people forget that to manufacture anything these days takes people power, unless you are solely machine driven.
Yeah, it doesn't have too much these days, does it?
So yeah, so in general, it sounds like USA is quite good. Higher count fabrics harder to get. DMC floss and 14 to 18 count aid are always in stock at big craft stores. That'd be like Joann's and Michael's. Hobby Lobby as well. Is it Hobby Lobby that you have? Specialty floss, high count fabric, etc. is probably just as hard as anywhere else. Yeah.
We've got Hobbycraft, and that's about it, isn't it?
And Hobbycraft over here, which is our main sort of craft chain, is quite expensive. Like,
well, it's cornered the market over here, hasn't it?
Yeah. For example, I can go online and get skeins of DMC floss for about 80 pence or 90 pence, and they're charging sort of £1.50, £1.60 in Hobbycraft. And so I tend to do these days, try and get a bulk online order, because even with shipping, it's still cheaper. And I only ever buy thread from Hobbycraft if it's an absolute emergency. And I need it, which is very rare because I've got the cones. I've got 400 and odd cones from my kitting days, but still I am running out of the popular colours, and cones here aren't readily available. They are intended for people who are kitting only, hence why I've still got mine, because I no longer kit, but I've still got the cones and the bolts of fabric. A conservatory full.
Yes, box upon box of them.
99 cents a skein is standard in craft stores. Yeah, that's lucky because it varies very much where we are. And I'll be honest, I don't stick with one online retailer. I'll go to wherever they're at the lowest price on that particular day. So they have sales at different times and what have you.
You strike while the iron's up, wherever it is.
I buy fabric from Stitcher's Paradise, but my floss I go to Joann's because it's expensive. Is Stitcher's Paradise that shop that you've mentioned on your channel, David? The one where, you walk in, it's in Las Vegas, and there's like loads and loads of stock of different stuff and specialty things and a really, really big variety, and you could get lost in there for a day kind of thing. Yeah, Sandy, I'm glad you're with me. Hobbycraft being a last resort. I mean, John Lewis's in the UK used to have a decent haberdashery section with thread and what have you. But even I think John Lewis's have stopped stocking DMC now.
There was another department store that had it, wasn't there? There was
Atkinson's in Sheffield had it.
no, not that. Another big chain, but I can't think which one it were.
Debenhams used to have a haberdashery department.
I don't think it was Debenhams.
But yeah, we're kind of a bit stuck here in the UK. We've got like one chain of craft stores, and then some of the bigger online retailers may have a physical shop, but we certainly don't get much selection. Yeah, I thought so, David. That's one of the reasons why I keep saying to the husband we have to go to Las Vegas. And nothing to do with the casinos or a show or anything like that. I just want to go to that big craft store that I know that you've got there with an empty suitcase and bring it home full of stitchy goodies. I'm supposed to be going in January next year for my 50th birthday, but whether it happens or not, who knows, eh? Or order from Peakside, Needcroft. Yeah. Peakside, Lakeside, Lovecrafts I've ordered from. Enchanted Needle. One or two other ones I've had, that have had, their floss on sale at some point. I try not to hard. You try not really. Blah, 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 blah. Can't speak. I try really hard not to shop at Hobbycraft. Most of my shopping for cross stitch is online. Yes, Sharon. Yeah, absolutely. Can you imagine how much DMC I could bring back? Oh yes. Oh yes. I would go to Las Vegas with one outfit. If I could, and a spare pair of undies, if I could bring back a whole suitcase full of floss, especially if I hit, is it Joann's that usually has that every so often have a big sale on DMC, 3 skeins for $1 or something. Oh my God. If I could come back with a suitcase full of floss and charts and fabric and everything, I would be in heaven. I really would. So, if you see next year some scruffy English woman walking around Las Vegas in the same clothes she's been wearing for 2 days, pulling along a suitcase that appears to be heavy, you'll know it's me in a DMC stash that I've just bought. What say you, love? I'll be using your hand luggage and all. It's a good job you can get away with wearing little clothes, isn't it? Oh, good to have priorities. Yeah, it is. And I tell Andy only to pack off the stuff he needs as well. We'd find a laundrette or something. What say you, love?
Yeah.
You'd just turn up, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Valentine's Day was 50 cents a skein at Joann's. Yeah, they sort of tend to do it quite a lot, don't they? I think it's like every couple of months, I've seen somebody post somewhere on Facebook, Joann's have had a sale on, and the DMC's like 50 cents a skein or something, or 3 for $1 or whatever. So what do you reckon, Andy? Do you think I could be that scruffy woman walking around Las Vegas in 2-day-old clothing with a suitcase full of thread?
You're not scruffy.
Yeah, but I would be if I've been wearing my clothes for 2 days.
What are you talking about? I wear the same clothes for 2, if not 3 days in a row.
Yes, but Las Vegas is much hotter than Yorkshire. Much hotter. What's it currently temperature-wise out there at the moment? Because here in centigrade, we're looking about, I think it was about 8 today in centigrade. No idea what that is in Fahrenheit.
What was it? Did you say?
8, about 8.
About 40, isn't it?
Which is about 40.
I don't know. It's just a guess. Might
Well,
be.
Andy reckons about 40.
2, 3. Oh God. 2, 3, 3, 7.
40 sounds a bit cold.
But maybe it's a little bit more. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. I wasn't taught in old money. When you think about it, degree C makes a lot more sense.
Well, it does to us, yeah.
Well, it starts at 0 for a start. Not 32.
I don't know how it all works. Oh, just another £1 this week as well at weight loss. I was a bit disappointed. But still, a pound is a pound. I have 41 more pounds to lose to get to my goal. Here in Vegas, it's 66 Fahrenheit, which is, don't know. What's 66 degrees Fahrenheit in centigrade, Andy? Can you have a look for me, please? In USA, we just felt the need to be different. We like our weird measurements.
You're about the only major country in the world that still uses imperial measurements for things.
Yeah, but I use imperial measurements all the time, me, for weight.
18.8.
18. Oh, that's not bad, actually. That's quite nice, 18. Perhaps I wouldn't look quite so scruffy then at 18 degrees. Add another 10 on and I would. In Italy, it's 4 degrees at the moment. Nope, I haven't been raiding my Fredos and I've added to the collection. I think I have something like 112 in the box. I must show this on my floss tube. You'll all laugh your heads off. I might even do a TikTok and stick it on Instagram.
Well, considering the whole thing was born from a TikTok.
Yeah, it all came from a TikTok. I've had, out of that Fredo box, I think I've had about 3 this week. Don't have them every day. But I've had about 20 added.
There's going to be more.
Yeah, the box isn't full yet. I must show that box on my floss tube. Andy, you must remind me.
Well, Nikki,
Oh.
Nikki, do you want me to show it now? Because I
No, because we're all doing the stitching thing now.
Yeah, no, but no. What I mean is, you could turn your camera around, and I could just show it here.
No, I'll show it on floss tube. It's better light. It's night time, isn't it?
Depends. What do your viewers want? Do your viewers want
I'll
to...
put it in on my floss tube. Sharon said she'd have had 100 empty wrappers by now. We see, for me, right, it's a bit sort of psychological. That's it. Thank you, Andy. If I was given a big bar of chocolate, you know, one of them that's about this big, and I opened it, I'd have to eat it all. I couldn't leave any of it behind. But with these Fredos, because they're so little, when I've had it, the packet's empty. So my brain says, it's all gone. That's it. You're over it now. And I can move on. It's weird, isn't it? So I only have one at a time.
Moncton.
But that's my only chocolate treat, and because as well I have it at night time, just before I go to bed usually, I'm not tempted to go in and get another one.
34, so that's 105.
It's now become a bit of a running joke now, because every time anybody leaves the house, it's don't forget to buy the Fredos, innit? In one way or another.
Don't worry, Nikki, you will be supplied with more Fredos this week. I'm going to guarantee you that. Where my hotel is this week, I know there's a co-op literally just around the corner, so I'm going to go raid that for Fredos.
And I'm so excited because, Andy, there's a Fredo Easter egg.
There's a Fredo Easter egg.
There's a Fredo Easter egg.
But you can't have that. Too many sins.
I can have one.
One, what, whole Easter egg?
And you know me, even though, you know, it would be an empty wrapper job, I'm quite disciplined with Easter egg chocolate.
I'm not.
Well, no, you're not, and Hannah's not either.
No, if I have an Easter egg, trust me, it all disappears in one go. There are no seconds. Not with an Easter egg. Easter egg chocolate is different to normal chocolate. Fact.
Yep.
Anyone who says otherwise is lying their ass off.
Careful what you say. If my video gets restricted monetization, I'm coming after you.
Probably get restricted anyway.
Hey?
Probably get restricted anyway. 3 of mine have.
Well, mine hasn't.
Live streams, I mean, not videos.
Sharon says, totally agree, especially if it's Cadbury's. Yep. My ex-husband used to love Easter because of obviously chocolate Easter eggs, because he absolutely, you know, he would eat chocolate, but when it came to Easter egg chocolate, he absolutely loved it. And he actually used to make it his mission to go to the shops on the day after, you know, a few days after Easter, to go and find the Easter egg bargains.
Yeah,
He used to love them.
price, aren't they?
Yep. But now the Morrisons are already doing theirs half price for more card holders. For some Easter egg, not all of them, but some of them.
Ah, okay. That's what I've done.
I've noticed that the prices of one or two things in the supermarkets here have started to come down.
Hallelujah.
And we had a announcement that Ofgem were lowering the price cap again. But I'm a little bit miffed about it because it's still not lowered to pre-pandemic levels. And I was watching a program earlier tonight on YouTube, basically saying that we are paying for the collapse of various energy companies and the debts that they've had in our price hike, which is a bit unfair. There you go.
Yeah, but everything's linked, isn't it? So it kind of makes a bit of sense. It's not fair, but it makes sense as to why it's happening.
Sharon, but the service charges have gone up again. Yeah. Not Chunky Cat, hello. I've not seen you comment before, although I could be wrong. It's happened before. Not sure if the UK has these, but that's how I feel about Girl Scout cookies. They're so good, it's hard to stop. We don't have Girl Scout cookies here.
What are Girl Scout cookies?
Well, you'd have to Google that to find out, I think,
I'll
love.
write it right now.
Um,
It's the kind of thing that sounds interesting to me.
yes, Andy is a chocoholic. He's a sweet tooth. He's got a real big sweet tooth.
Right, Girl Scout cookies. Here we are. Oh wow, wow!
What are they
I want me
like?
some of these.
Right, so in Las Vegas then, I'm going to have a suitcase full of DMC whilst wearing the same clothes for a few days, and then you're going to be trudging behind me with some boxes of Girl Scout cookies. Am I right?
Mm. I'm just admiring these. What have we got here?
He's admiring them.
Wow.
Oh, dear.
Basically, Nikki, they're like biscuits of different flavors. Let's see, we've got thin mint, caramel delight, shortbread, lemonades, peanut butter sandwich, peanut butter patties, one that's shaped like toast. I'm not quite sure what flavor it is, and caramel chocolate chip. There could be some more though.
You have to come at the right time of year, apparently. So when is the right time of year for Girl Scout cookies? Andy's, we're getting ready to book a flight. Now, right? Okay, cool.
Well, just looking at them, I think there's definitely a couple of front runners here. I mean, the chocolate chip one just looks like a standard cookie.
Thin mints and Samoas are the best, apparently. Got 2 votes from those. And Andy is dribbling right now.
I'm quite looking like in the look of the patty one, PB patty, whatever that is.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter patty, that's it. There's a toffee-tastic one, that looks good.
Ooh.
And then there's this one called Adventure Falls. It looks like it's like it got caramel over the top of it. Am I right? Is it caramel? It's got like caramel strips across the top of it.
He's not showing me because I'd go and eat the box of Fredos.
As many Fredos as you want if I get some of these, I'll tell you.
Oh my goodness.
You watch, we'll get sent some now from somebody in America.
And there's a few brands of chocolate in America that we don't have here unless you go into the specific American candy shops,
Well,
which are like
Hershey's is the big
Hershey's, Ghirardelli is another. We do get Reese's, but not quite the range that you get in America. But yeah, you've got to sort of go into a specific either American candy shop, and some of our supermarkets might have an American foods section where you might find marshmallow fluff and those Lucky Charms cereals that the kids like.
Yeah.
What else do they get in there?
The Americans have lots of food we don't have, and I mean some of it. Right? Don't take this the wrong way, Americans out there. Some of it I wouldn't go near with a barge pole
Because it's not food you're used to.
Because it looks disgusting. But there are some bits and bobs you guys have that I just wish we did.
Andy, just go and grab me a Fredo, will you please? Just a single one.
Can you just give me a second? Just finish doing this. Because otherwise I'll be in the middle of it and I won't have a clue where
I've normally got a wrapper knocking about because the cat's had a shiny, but I haven't got one. Somebody's asking Rosemary's asking exactly what a Fredo is.
Of course, yeah. You guys in America won't have Fredos,
yeah. The Girl Scouts were selling outside of my local grocery store, and I'm ashamed to admit how many packs I bought.
Well, they must be good. That's all I can say. In fact, hang on. Is that Lauren coming down?
Rosemary, I'll show you in 2 ticks.
Is that you, Lauren? Could you do me a favour? Could you go?
Just bring me one Fredo out of my box.
Because I'm not going to get this done in the next couple of minutes.
Chunky Cat. So Mal says Chunky Cat, was it 8? Because that's how many they got. How much would you normally pay for a box of Girl Scout cookies? Because Andy's got to save up.
Can't be much, surely. They don't look very big.
$6.
Oh, that's all right.
One singular Fredo.
Thank you. Right. So this is a Fredo. And the frog is Fredo the frog. They are 95 calories per each one. They're 18 grams in weight. And let me open it. And it's just a plain piece of chocolate with a frog on it. You can see Mr. Frog there.
Yeah.
And you can have that for getting it for me, thank you.
Here
Ooh,
in
the
Britain,
caterpillar.
we use the Fredo as a mark of inflation.
Inflation, yeah.
Because I'll explain this. Because basically, back in 1994, I know this because I researched it the other day. In 1994, a single Fredo cost 10p.
10p.
10p, right? And everyone was happy with 10p.
10 pence is about 8 cents, something like that.
Well, it's a tenth of a pound. So to an American, it will be a bit less than 10p. So 8 is probably about right.
Yeah.
8 cents. So everyone was happy with 10p, right? Then the price just started to rise.
It was 15 pence, then it was 20 pence.
And now a Fredo costs
35 pence.
40, isn't it?
Oh, 40 pence is it
I
now?
think it's 40, yeah. Unless you buy the multi-packs, what we get to film Nicky's box up, which are usually £1.25 from various
Or
apps.
£1.15, depending on
so
what.
they're a pack of 5, so even then they're 25p a piece.
Apparently, 10 pence is about 13 cents.
Oh, 13 cents.
Of course, yeah, it's a bit more for an American, isn't it? Of course it is. Right, so basically, we use the price of a Fredo to judge how much inflation has gone up in this country. So ever since 1994, we've kept a tally of, not us personally, but Britain as a whole. People have kept a tally on how much a Fredo costs, and we basically used it to compare it to the whole economy. Yeah, basically, it's called the Fredo Index.
Fredo Index.
Yeah, there's a Fredo Index.
It's called the Fredo Index.
Let's see. I hear that British chocolates taste creamier than American ones. I would love to try them. Chunky Cat, go over to Instagram and find me. PM me your address. I've got your back. I'll send you some.
What? I missed that.
She wants to try some.
Oh.
Rosemary. Oh, that's really cute. Yeah, they are. Hi, Rose. Hello, I know I'm late. I haven't done too much stitching this past week. Been in the hospital. I'm sorry to hear that, Rose. And I hope that you're feeling better soon. And I hope that you're on the mend. Yes, Rosemary, it is a price hike. And they do that in America with a gallon of milk. So we have the Fredo Index by the sounds of it, Andy. And in the USA, they have the gallon of milk index.
What's a gallon of milk?
How many pints is in a gallon?
1 gallon is 4.54 litres, I think. If I remember rightly.
We don't use gallons. We still use pints or litres here. Milk.
No, I can't remember how many pints are in a gallon.
8 pints.
That's it.
Yeah, so we get our milk in 1, 2, 4, and 6 pints. So our most would be 6. But even though it's still the same with milk. So for us here, not long ago, if you wanted to get 4 pints of milk or 2 litres or, whatever it is, around, they're basically similar measurements, aren't they? We would pay 80 pence, 90 pence, something like that. And now for a 4 pints of milk, it's about double that. In the local shops, it's in the local shops, it's about £1.65. Less in the supermarket.
Depends where you buy it, obviously.
Oh yeah, like everything. Gasoline is a good indicator here too. Yeah, we've had our gas and petrol and diesel has been a bit funny, really, because sorry about that. That's Lauren opening popcorn. Gas and petrol and diesel here we did have it go up quite a bit, didn't we? But then it started to come back down because it hit about 170, 180 a litre.
Something like that, yeah.
But it's down to about well, in the 140s and 150s, depending on where you go.
It goes up and down. It hasn't remained constant.
Yeah.
For a long time. I'm about happy with 150 a litre, to be honest. It's not it's not terrible.
Yes, prices of gas have increased significantly over the years. That's how I gauge the inflation as well. So over here at the moment, Andy uses diesel for our car.
Yep.
And last time we went, you paid £1.49 a litre, yes?
Tesco the other day, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can remember here when it was about 25p a litre.
That's saying something.
Yeah. That was back when Fredos were 10p. Mrs. Miggins, when I started driving, it was 50 pence a gallon. Yeah, I can believe that. I can remember our local petrol station. My mum had a motorcycle. And our local petrol station was one of the most expensive in the area.
Wait, your mum had a motorbike?
Yeah, your nan rode a motorbike. Like your Uncle John. Yeah.
Lauren's mind has just been blown.
Yeah, she rode a motorbike. She passed a motorbike test before she ever passed a car test. She never passed a car test, but you know.
That's by the by.
It's by the by, yeah. Yeah, she nan rode a motorbike. I used to go back of a motorbike with her. And your granddad Cox.
Oh. That's not gonna happen, new.
Used to go back with your Uncle John and all. I was a biker chick as a teenager.
You wouldn't pay me to get on a motorbike with John, Nicky. I'm sorry.
It's quite safe.
But yeah, he might be safe, but it's bad enough when you're in a car with him.
When I first started driving, I could fill my tank for $20. Now it's between 50 and 60. How much is it to fill our tank in GBP, Andy?
It's about 60.
Yeah.
Right, I did this about the other day. I filled it up and only spent 37. There was like a quarter in it.
Mm.
So
Mind you, I was only earning £18 for 37.5 hours. Blimey. My first job, I came into the world of work in about 1991. And I was on £2.50 an hour and thought it was a good wage.
not even the under 18s get £2.50 an hour now. They get more than that.
No, I know. God, hadn't times changed?
No,
Times
she's
have
just
really
back.
changed.
Come here, Isabel.
She's just been in Bath.
Yeah.
I don't know where you've been since then, do we?
1977. There were some hard years though then, Mrs. Miggins, weren't they? Late 70s and early 80s. Even I can remember as a child things being super difficult. My mum and dad, even though they were both working, never having much money. And my dad had a really good job. He was a steel worker. And my dad, I don't know particularly specifically what he did, but he was one of only 3 people in the country that could do his job. And he wasn't on a particular high wage.
He was very much a specialist, wasn't he?
Yeah. Specialist steel worker, but I don't know what the specialism was, if that makes sense.
All you knew was it brought money in.
Oh, blimey. Sharon started work in 1984, £19.50 in a youth opportunity scheme. Was that like the YTS kind of thing? My sister did that. Youth training scheme, and it was like, I don't know, 26 weeks or something.
It was very short-lived, as I remember.
You know, Millside Centre in Dalton that's burnt down?
I do.
That was the centre for it.
Oh.
That was a YTS hub in Rotherham. And then, you know, if you were a little bit older and you found yourself out of work and you were on benefits, there was the employment training scheme. And
ETS.
if you attended, you got an extra £10 on top of your benefits. So it was known as the ET scheme or the extra tenner. God, our government had some ideas, didn't they?
We still do.
Early 80s Tory government.
Can't say much about the early 80s Tory government.
No, you weren't born.
What's up, Lolly?
Just looking at what you're doing.
Making the, well, doing the preamble for.
Oh, my days. Oh, excuse me.
The run it, this running Harriet, which I just sorted out.
You all right there, Lauren?
Very, very quiet.
So,
She's still mind blown about my mum. Those were some tough times with high interest rates, yeah. And it went on into the early 90s, didn't it? If you were a homeowner in the early 90s, you faced around 18% interest rates at some point.
Which was, frankly,
It was ridiculous.
too bad.
A lot of homes were repossessed. People had 2 and 3 jobs just to pay the mortgage. And the endowment mortgages came to an end. They were the pre-runner to interest-only mortgages here, Andy.
Yeah.
You bought an endowment policy and paid into it, and you hoped at the end of the term it matured and it was enough to pay off the mortgage. But it wasn't very often. So interesting, those years in the US were very different, yeah. I can imagine that they were, but then again, in the 80s, you know, you had Reagan as president, and, you know, President Reagan did quite a lot to boost growth in America from what I understand, although I could be wrong. It's happened before.
That's some crazy whacked out ideas.
He did have some crazy whacked ideas, but his Reaganomics were quite a big part of the 80s. A while ago, I remember a store near me had laid off their long-time employees to avoid increasing their pay. Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Mrs. Miggins, yes, we started our mortgage in 1988 and it doubled before we even started. Yeah. Endowment was the biggest fiddle out. It certainly was. My ex-partner had a property, had a flat, and he bought it for 40,000. And he got his endowment mortgage, and 40,000 back then was considered very expensive. And he got his endowment mortgage, and it was nowhere near enough when it matured to pay off the flat. And he ended up with a debt that he had to work years extra to pay for, and struggled to get further mortgage borrowing. Our mortgage was 15%. Our first mortgage was an endowment. That's all they sold you. Yeah. It was very, very hard. The endowment mortgage. I'm glad it's no longer around. When I got mortgage for this house, I got one, and I had specific requests for my mortgage. It had to be on a capital repayment basis, so that the mortgage loan was decreasing every month, and I wanted to make overpayments to pay it down quicker. and I wanted those overpayments to be unlimited. So there wasn't caps that I could only make, you know, equivalent to the value of the repayments, you know, double it or whatever, or 10% or whatever. I was very firm on that fact. And an 11-year mortgage I paid in, I think it was 7 or 8,
Right.
something like that.
I freely admit, by the way, that I don't understand mortgages.
It's a good job I do, isn't it? It's what I get paid for.
Well, yeah, but that's your job, isn't it?
Mm.
But
We also had some.
I don't get it.
We also had some more regulation around lending and credit that kept things stable, yet and more attainable. I was but a twinkle in my parents' eye, so I don't know exactly which government was responsible for that. Yeah. I think in the world of politics, it doesn't matter which side of the fence you fall on. When any party gets into power, or when any, you know, side gets into power, there's always going to be something that they do that's very, very wrong, that doesn't benefit the country as a whole. And it's the standout thing. That party's time in power, you know, this is what went wrong.
I think the problem is, more than anything else, the reason there is that sort of there's always that issue, no matter which party is in, is because we've got a wealth of wealthy people and a wealth of poor people.
Yeah.
Now, what happens is any government will try and make one or both of those groups of people happy, but in doing something for one of them,
They upset the other.
And that's why you can never please anybody. And it's the same any country in the world. That it's not just here.
Yeah. So we raise taxes to help the people on the lower income.
But then the wealthy get annoyed about that
because they have to pay more taxes. You've raised wages to help the lower paid people.
And then the wealthy get annoyed about it
because it costs them more to run their business.
Correct.
Tell them to suck it up.
Doesn't work like that,
Doesn't
Lauren.
work like that because Lauren, one thing you'll learn as you get older is money talks.
Yep.
If you've got money, you've got power. Trust me.
Let's do that other part thread.
I've seen it in so many places myself, where I've actually been to a place and filmed it, and the reason it's like it is because somebody with a bit of money behind them said so. You know, there was one I went to last week where the entire village had moved because this guy wanted to build a new mansion.
Catherine's asking, does the Fredo come in dark chocolate? Yeah. Unfortunately not. Yeah. It is milk chocolate only. So
moved all the houses.
Sorry, Catherine.
Money talks.
And where he moved the village,
we do have some very nice milk dark chocolate though here in the UK. I'm a big fan of dark chocolate. Chunky Cat, yes, I completely agree with Andy. You'll never be able to please everyone, unfortunately. One group's interests will not completely align with others. Yep, bang on. And it's the people who are, generally speaking, the people who are most in need who end up missing out. Ah, well. It'd be nice if they did do a dark chocolate, Fredo. I like dark chocolate. Maybe we can lobby Cadbury's for one. What do you reckon, Andy? A dark chocolate Freddo?
Do they exist?
No, but I think we should lobby Cadbury's for one.
Hot chocolate is disgusting.
Yeah, you back in your box, you. You do a caramel Freddo.
You don't like dark chocolate because
It tastes awful.
it's sweet.
You have to do one with a caramel centre.
Dark chocolate is, I quite like it better for you actually.
The only time I can tolerate bitter is if it's coffee.
What do we say? You're a coffee drinking, you'd be alright.
Oh, good question, Mrs. Miggins. Anyone doing a leap year new start? Not me, because I've got a bet on. Yes, if you're doing a leap year new start, do share what you plan on starting. I know that a few people are starting long dogs for leap year new start. But yeah, let me know. Sharon's not. When I was a child, I was not a fan of dark chocolate and hated anything bitter. That's changed over time. Yep. I like Swiss chocolate, when dark Swiss chocolate. IKEA do a nice dark chocolate as well.
The wonderful everyday.
You have IKEA in the USA.
I don't know. Do they? Ask them. Do you guys have IKEA in the USA? I'm thinking they probably have a version of it, if not the same thing.
And my go-tos in IKEA, cinnamon rolls and the dark chocolate. Yes, they do. I try to keep my apartment from looking like an IKEA showroom. Nothing wrong with that. Am I, Andy, a fan of white chocolate? Andy will eat white chocolate, I'm sure, quite happily. I like it, but I don't like too much of it because it does get a bit sickly after a while. It's very sweet. I don't have so much of a sweet tooth as Andy does. Hannah quite likes white chocolate. Hannah will eat white chocolate until it comes out of her ears. How do you fit on white chocolate, Andy?
What?
How do you fit for white chocolate?
You know I like white chocolate.
White chocolate's lovely.
Oh, there you go. Milky Bar is our main white chocolate here. There's I don't know if you guys have seen or if you're on Facebook, there's a page called Dull Men's Club. And there's one chap on there who's an American and he's trying English chocolates and he's ranking them in order of his favourites. And he's had things like Maltesers, he's had Whisper Bar, he's had a Lion Bar, he's had Flake, Time Out, and so on and so forth. He's had about 30. It's fantastic. Yes, my daughter's bestie has been trying for a baby for 8 years, is expecting. Hey, so I'm going to do a Dragon Bear sampler. Sounds lovely. I was going to do Vivsta's flag. Dime bars. Oh, dime bars. Andy, dime bars.
What about them?
They are a go-to chocolate, aren't they, from IKEA?
They are. Can't beat a dime bar.
It's fantastic news, that. 8 years of trying.
What is?
One of Mrs. Miggins's daughter's friends, a daughter's best friend, is having a baby.
Oh, okay.
Took me 4 years to get caught pregnant with Hannah. Mal loves Aero bars, still a bit hard to find. Have you tried the mint ones, Mal? Mint Aeros are just, oh, I love them. And Bounty bars with the coconut in them. Although they don't do the dark chocolate covered ones anymore. Ah, I love the mint ones, yeah. Getting hungry now talking about all this chocolate. Oh my gosh. Do I need to bring the suitcase over filled up with chocolate and then take it back filled with Stitchy Stash? I've been hearing some talk on AI generated cross stitch patterns. Yep, so have I. I wanted to start the Haid freebie on Leap Day, but then I saw it was AI. Now I'm not too sure. The AI conversation is a bit of a difficult one. I've noticed that it did say, or somewhere it said that it was an AI generated chart. One of the Floss Tube, I watched a Floss Tuber yesterday who'd done a Floss Tube about AI charts.
What?
It's about 11 minutes long. Was it Jamie, Crafty Gaming Jamie? Might have been, could be wrong. Somebody did a Floss Tube explaining about it and, you know, directed to Darling Bluebell, but I didn't get a chance to watch Bluebell's video. I know that she'd done one yesterday, not yesterday, last year, last April. And, you know, I was listening to Jamie's points about, you know, how this artwork is based on artwork from sort of real designers. And those real designers are getting neither recognition nor being compensated for their artwork, which I thought was quite bad. My sort of thoughts on it is, from what I can tell, there's AI and there's AI done properly. So there's AI in the respect that those AI charts do exist. I mean, obviously we'll find them on places like Etsy and so on. But if it's done properly and if it's properly licensed and the artist is getting credit, the original artist, and the AI perhaps is an enhancement of the original piece, and it's honest about it, to me, that'd be a different thing. I can't say whether or not I'd stitch one because I've not looked closely enough at the charts. But I mean, I have seen some AI charts that have come out that were absolutely appalling, you know, and I just sort of thought, well, surely the person who, the human being who's looking at this can tell what's wrong with this picture. But yeah, for me, it would have to be done properly, proven, and be more regulated. Well, I say regulated. I don't know if I mean regulated. I think I mean controlled. Because I do think it's unfair on original artists if they're not given credit for their work. I might do a new start on the 29th. Haven't made up my mind yet. Yep. If you're feeling that new start, go for it. That's what I would say. A lot of AI, I've seen appear to be overproduced. Yeah, it's like having a photograph that's a really, really nice scene, and then somebody goes in and HDR processes it, and it comes out with all shiny bits and wiggly lines on it and that kind of stuff that were over processed. We have a hard enough time making sure artists get credit and compensations as it is. Throwing AI into the mix, just making a bigger mess. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that it could ever be. I don't know if there could ever be any kind of regulation for it. It would be nice if it could, and that would make it different. But realistically, is it going to happen? Probably not. I've seen, you know, there's a few designers out there who are honest that they use AI art. There are some designers who use AI art but don't declare it. And there are designers out there who absolutely go against AI art. So I guess it's really down to, you know, we vote with our wallets, our bank accounts. And I certainly wouldn't ever say to anybody, you know, oh, no, you shouldn't be stitching that. It's AI and this, that, and other. It's entirely up to you what side of the fence you fall on. And if you pick that, you pick that. Whether or not I approve or don't is immaterial. But it's probably not something that I would do. I don't think I can say fairer than that, really. I probably wouldn't do it myself, but I can't, you know, who am I to judge on what, you know, you want to do? If you want to start a chart that's AI, that's down to you. You make that decision. In a video, Jamie mentioned that AI charts could also hurt companies because now what's stopping people from generating their own images and putting them into pattern conversion software? Yep. It's very true. And pattern conversion software is easy to get hold of. I've got pattern conversion software because of Stitch Picks, the Stitch Picks photo charting that me and Andy do. Well, mainly him, but you know. So I've had chart conversion software for what, 8 years?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just a bit distracted here because I'm watching it.
Okay, that's fine.
Some drone footage of the new road leading into Parkgate.
Oh.
Because we can't really see this when we drive past it, but obviously now from this I can see it. It's it actually looks fairly decent.
My issue with AI generated art is where the AI gets its components from. Yeah. And it's a system, it's a computer program, and it's fallible, and it will make mistakes. Like, you know, 3 legs or not enough legs or 2 tails, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, we all remember the Christmas chart that we talked about back in December. So a stamp cross stitch may not give the artist recognition. If I come across the original chart, I'll buy the original chart. Yeah. And another good method here from Mal. I was trying to do an image search on patterns where the seller doesn't specifically say that they are licensed to see if it shows up anywhere else. Speaking of licensing, quick PSA. I'm sure you're all aware there are about 18 artists retiring from Haid tonight or today or within the next few hours. I think they're still on there at the moment, but of course time zones. So I don't know the story. I don't know why. I've seen rumour and gossip and comment as to why, but I don't know why. To be fair, I've got enough charts to keep me going. I mean, if one of my pieces isn't scheduled to finish until 2060, I've got plenty enough on my plate. Don't need any more charts. But yeah, if you've not seen Jamie's video, Crafty Gaming Jamie, it's about 10 or 11 minutes long. Definitely worth a watch. Certainly some food for thought. I was quite fascinated listening to her talking about it. And it you know, she pointed out that it's so unregulated. It's so, you know, free and easy for anybody to load images into an AI program, and before you know it, this artwork of inverted commas is out there. For me, artwork is either somebody with a pencil and paper and an easel or a digital artist. So it's not a computer generating components of an image that you tell it to do. Sheena Pike double licensed herself. Yeah, that was one of the things I heard. The others have changed licensor and Michelle has had issues with them and will not deal with them. Yeah, I heard that too. I'm not in the official Heaven and Earth Designs group. I moderate Heaven and Earth Designs group on Facebook, but not the official one, because I refuse to remove somebody from that group who had done nothing wrong. So I was banned from the official group. Which I thought was a little bit unfair, and I did question it, and I was told it was because I ran Stitch Pix, but I knew full well it was nothing to do with Stitch Pix. Stitch Pix is photo conversion, not generating charts from licensed images. It's completely different. But it's fine, I have no problem. She wants to, if they want to distance and, not allow me into the group, that's fine. I've got plenty of other stuff to be going on with. I don't bear any malice. It came from Michelle directly. Yeah. I know she put a post on Instagram. And one of the things that I noticed, I briefly just sort of scanned through the post, and one of the things I noticed was that, she said that it was nothing to do with the presence of AI imaging either. So I think this AI thing, it will rumble on and rumble on. It's now going to be sort of a part of the lexicon. You made that gridding look easy. Yeah, I did. When the fabric's nice and tight, it's easy enough to do. There's absolutely nothing wrong with generating patterns from your photos. Yeah, it's unfortunate you need to explain. Yeah, it is, but it is what it is. I see it now. If somebody has an issue with me, then that is a them problem, because I have far too many other things to be concentrating my time and energy on. Catherine is messaging in from Facebook. 1980, no jobs except YOP when I left school, £25 a week. Oh, holy moly.
Macaroni.
Anyway, so this week, as I said, I'm planning to work from home. I have my 2 stitch with me to go. And yeah, busy week. I'm hoping my model stitch turns up. Chunky, that is a good outlook to have, especially with recent FrostTube news of viewers not being nice and leaving negative messages. Yes, I've been a victim to that as well. I've had people be unkind about me, and I've now come to the view that the person who has the problem is them, and they are not worth a second of my time if they have an issue with me. I have far too many things going on at home, in my work life and in other parts of my life, to be worrying about some keyboard warrior. I used to get upset about it, but I've stopped it now. Because life's too short.
Absolutely right.
Yep. I've had people say, you know, unkind things, as I said, but I have to let it go. Anyway, right. I have done near nigh 400 stitches. So I'm just going to move it in because then it won't blur. So there you go, 400 stitches across this bit here. Getting that in. They did us a favour by being unkind as they push you to start the lives. Yeah, they certainly did. And I wouldn't change doing these lives at all. I thoroughly enjoy doing them. I enjoy the company. I enjoy the conversation. You know, even when, you know, we go off a tangent and talk about Fredos and inflation.
I can guarantee all the Americans are going to be researching the Fredo now.
Oh, yeah, of course. So here's the thing. So I'm going to get myself off, and I've got a couple of swollen glands, so I'm going to go and take some painkillers, I think. I'm going to be back on schedule this week. So FrostTube Tuesday, Stitch With Me Wednesday, Stitch With Me Friday. Live back here next Sunday, and I would love as many of you to join me as possible. It would be so nice for you all to come and join me, and we'll all have a chat again. Chunky Cat, if you want some Fredos, drop me an Instagram. In fact, anybody who's over there in America who wants a couple of Fredos sending out, drop me an Instagram at Simply a Stitcher, and I'll sort you out. I'll send people Fredos. It's fine. It's fine. We're all good.
Right. Here's the thing. You send them Fredos, they must respond by sending me Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, yes, you've got to send Girl Scout cookies back. So, yeah. But, yeah, we'll do that. And I'm just going to clear off. Wish you all a very good evening. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. If you can't be good, be careful and all that jazz. And it's been Nicholas the dealer, yes.
Fredo dealer. I like it.
Fredo dealer, yeah.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, it's been really lovely again. And, you know, you're all my friends. You'd all be on my Christmas card list if I actually got round to writing them.
No one sends Christmas cards these days.
Exactly. Right, so I'm going to clear off. So take care, everybody. Have a lovely rest of the evening. Have a great week ahead. And all being well, I'll see you next Sunday for another live. So bye-bye for now.